once again doing some Oregon Trail Sims 3 to Sims 2 recreation sims. This current sim is Dorothy DeMayo. She's kind of just an NPC townie sim in The Sims 3, but I really liked how wide her face was. And all I can really remember, she had a cowboy hat on, and she runs a kissing booth sometimes. But yeah, I just thought she was interesting, and hey, she won the poll she was in, so she gets to be here. I don't make the rules. Same with Tia Rose. But she was the hardest one out of this bunch. And I just said the word bunch, so you know that Jack and Judy are coming up as well. But yeah, just trying to get her face, it was very heart-shaped, but long, but wide. I don't really have appropriate descriptor words for the way that her face is shaped. I just know that I very much enjoy it. And I think that I kind of got it down. I was a little worried, but at the same time, unlike the rest of the Sims 3 Sims, I felt like she really had specific features that I could latch onto that was an interesting nose. Because a lot of them, that's kind of what they have, is they have an interesting nose to differentiate them. If you covered up the nose, you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference between all of them. Whereas she's distinctive. But she had like this weird lumpy thing going on her cheek, and I could not find a slider to get rid of it. I finally did kind of smooth it out a little bit, but it was a struggle. It was a struggle. She's taken, I think, the longest by far out of all of them. But in the Oregon Trail neighborhood, she's going to be acting as kind of a nanny for the bunch children, which may not be the role that she wants, but it's the role that's going to get her west. And she knows that she doesn't have to stay in that role if she doesn't want to. It's just more, they were willing to take her west with them. So she's like, yep, I'm game, let's go. She strikes me as someone who's very adventurous and very willing to take pretty extreme risks, because basically leaving behind everything you know and love and have ever known for a giant question mark, that's pretty bold. That is bold. That is Star Trek levels of bold. Also, my dog is kind of mad at me right now, and I don't know why, but she just took her blanket and left the room. And that's how I know. That's how I know that we're a little pouty. Oh no, now we're looking around the corner at me with the blanket. Okay. She's so funny. I don't even know why she's pouting. She got to be on the bed today, and she's never allowed on the bed. But I was tired, and she kept playing with Richard, my little cat, and I was just like, please stop, please stop. Finally, I just invited her onto the bed and snuggled with the dog. And all was well. So I went to bed late, and then they were waking me up super early. I don't know if you can hear her whining, but yeah, we're just whiny. It might be because of the dog door. I have figured out a solution to fixing my dog door problem, in which my tiny little cat keeps escaping the house, but it's not fixed yet. Once I get the magnets. Because basically we're just going to add more magnets to the door, to the point where the cat is not strong enough to open it, but the dog is. Hopefully that works. Because if it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do. Although I guess I could put like a giant cone on the cat, and then the cat can't go outside. And then the cat can be humiliated by having a giant cone on his head. Sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. It happens. Well, I guess I can talk about Dorothy's dress. So she likes the color brown, and I wanted to kind of, I guess, put her in brown, even though it's kind of boring. So I ended up going with this like apron shawl setup. Mostly because like she's looking after children, so she needs to be dressed kind of practically. I did not have a cowboy hat for her, which is very sad. I am going to try to download one before the challenge begins, which I need to get a move on, but I'm gonna try. It'll be fine. I don't even know when these videos are coming out at this point because my schedule's so messed up because I write my schedule out, at the beginning of the month of the videos that I want to release and the days that I want to release them so that I know what to record and when. But I can't get my Medieval Color Legacy Challenge to work in terms of the businesses, and I'm getting really frustrated. So I keep having to change the dates set aside for that to other things. So it's been a messy month for me. Up next is Jack Bunch. He was actually a really quick and easy sim for me to make. I think he just has a generic square dude face. Again, with most of these Sims 3 male Sims, eyebrows were the hardest part. I do think it's interesting that him and his wife are both brunettes, and all of their kids are blonde. Their kids also don't necessarily look like them. So I don't know if there was maybe some donations going on or adoption. I don't know what was happening there, but it is noticed, and I am going to change their coloring. I'm still going to use the parents to make the kids, and I'll tweak little things just to kind of make sure that they still look like themselves. But at the end of the day, we don't know. All we know is we are told these are their parents. I'm gonna go with it. I also knew that if any sim was a candidate for a ridiculous, gigantic beard, it was gonna be Jack Bunch. He just is. Like that is the sim that's gonna have crazy, bushy mountain man beard. And no, I was not biased by the fact that I downloaded some and I hadn't been able to use them. Don't know what you're talking about. I guess the kids being blonde could be like, I know a lot of people who are like blonde when they're kids and then their hair turns brown. I guess they could have it could be something like that, but I'm gonna go with their actual blondes and they stay blonde. Mostly because I find it funny. I think he could look more like his Sims 3 counterpart. I don't think it was super successful with changing him, but it's just the styling is so different from the way that he looked in Sims 3 to begin with, that you add on the fact that I can't perfectly recreate them and he doesn't necessarily look like how he's supposed to. But again, I think he's close enough that it's fine. There's giant beard. Then I needed to make sure that I got hair that went with the beard. I wanted him to have gray hair just because he does have, teenagers, so he is older. And I like the graying hairs. They make me happy. I think his favorite color was aqua. So I wanted to put him, and then I can't remember. I don't think he was wearing plaid. I think he was wearing a polo, but it works out. Oh, you can see my screen recorder for a second there. Whoops. Up next, we have Judy. Judy I was really excited to make just because there's something about her. She really wants to make something of herself, but also she has all these kids, and then she has a really social, friendly husband. And it makes me wonder if she's one of those people that she got married because she's supposed to, and she had kids because she's supposed to, but maybe that wasn't necessarily what she wanted for herself. At least that's the way that I'm taking it in this particular Oregon Trail challenge, because that very much was a thing that happened to women of that era. You didn't really have much choice unless you were wealthy, and Judy does not come from a very wealthy family, so she was kind of out of luck, but I think she's more career-oriented than her husband is. I also think she 100% is the one, if I don't get a nanny, things are going to become very challenging for you. And he's like, sure, of course, whatever you want. Because Jack is a good dude. I should have started with different eyes, but everything else about the face shape was right, and I didn't want to mess with the cheekbones by changing the eyes. So I had to struggle with eyes for a little while. I do like how she turned out. Again, I don't think she's perfect, but she's close enough to suit me, especially with, again, the nose. Like, she's a very distinct nose. Everything else is kind of generic, but she's a very narrow, tiny little nose, and that stands out. God, this just reminds me, I need to do the custom ivory colors that I want to do. It's necessary. I'm just so lazy, I don't want to. I know how. I'm not in the mood to make them, and I know if I make them when I don't want to, that they're not going to turn out as good as if I'm really in the zone and I'm like feeling it kind of thing. I've noticed that with me. Like, if I feel like making CC, it tends to turn out better than even I could have anticipated. It's not the best, because I wouldn't even really consider myself a creator. Like, I can make things, but I'm not a creator. And so it can turn out okay, but like when I'm not in the mood to do something and I just like force myself to do it, like I made a hood recolor of the Pusel? I don't know how to say it. The original Tudor hood, and I just did a quick one for a sim and it turned out so bad. I am not a hair person at all. But it's okay, because it still served its purpose for the moment. So yeah, she liked Spice Berry, so I wanted to give her kind of a purple suit, and we're pretty much done. I did give her the Gibson girl hair too, because it felt right. And glasses, because I'm just accepting those glasses at this point. I don't like any other ones. But anyways, if you like this video, please give it a like. It really does help, and I will see you in the next one.